So guys, the porridge is ready. I'm going to stop saying guys. Anyway, the porridge is ready. It's too hot, so we're not going to drink it now. Wait for it to cool. But it looks good. Didn't disappoint. Doesn't have those things that I hate. So yeah. Good. But we'll wait for that to cool. So I wanted to talk about another story. Apparently I have a lot of stories. So I wanted to talk about another story that happened to me about. So I wanted to talk about a story that happened about 8 years ago. This is gonna be a short story, okay, it's not so short. It took 2 years, but I thought I would talk about it. So about 7 or 8 years ago, I used to date this guy. We will call him, what shall we call him? Let's call him Tom. I dated Tom for 2 years, and Tom was this guy who knew how to study someone, who knew how to read you, who knew how to know you so well that it didn't matter what he did, he could get away with anything. And the funny part of the story is that my best friend didn't like this guy at all. But Lilian, this girl, she was in deep. I mean, we used to go to church together. We'd spend so much time together. One of my friends, before we became friends, thought that we were married. That's how much time we spent together, because we'd go to church together, we'd go shopping together. I would be at his place, he'd be at mine. He'd come pick me up from work, he'd drop me off at work. He would bring me flowers. He would come pick me up for lunch. We'd go on trips. There's nothing we didn't do together. I mean, Tom and I were inseparable for 2 years. Now, within these 2 years, lots of things happened. But because your girl Lilian is blind, she decided that she wasn't going to pay too much attention. But now that I look at it, or I look back, I'm just like, what was I doing? What was I thinking? Anyway. So I'll tell you about a few things that I discovered. Number one, I discovered that he was lying about his age. He told me he was 32, but he was actually 10 years older than that. How do I know? I found a copy of 2 IDs in his house. One was for 1972 and one was for 1982. Same serial numbers, same, everything was the same except the date of birth. And then, I'm getting tired holding this thing like this. Yeah, that was the first thing. And that was towards the end though, because for about a year and a half, I didn't really think much of it. But I remember showing my mom a photo of him, and my mom was like, how old is this guy again? And then I told her, and she was like, nah, this guy's lying. Then I was like, but mama, he showed me his ID. Hey, mama was right. And then the other thing was that I used to find clothes at his house. Clothes that are for a lady, like ladies' clothes, and they were not mine. Mind you, this guy had 2 children, a boy and a girl. And yeah, I was so ready to become a stepmother. I mean, seriously, I was in deep. So this, I used to find clothes, and then I used to wonder, because he used to tell me that for his girl, and his daughter was quite tall, she was big for her age, but I was in love and stupid and blind. So one day I decided to go through his stuff, go through his house, and I found documents of this other person whom I had suspected all along. I found documents, I found IDs, I found so much. But then the one thing that I found was a phone that was unlocked. And see, you know, you girls, how we are, hey? See, you know, although I don't do that anymore, I just find it find it. You find what you're looking for. So I found photos, messages, and I found the person I've been looking for all this time. And this girl, I didn't bother looking for her, and I didn't tell him. I just wanted to see where the story was going. So one day, towards the end of that second year of me and him dating, because again, stupid and in love, I get a text message saying, "Hey, my name is so and so. You can keep him. I don't need him in my life anymore. Blah blah blah." And then I was like, "Oh, so she found out about me." So I would never fight the other girl. In fact, I would never beat up another woman for a man. And that's never gonna happen. So I decided. Sorry, I hope I'm not exposing myself too much like that. I decided that I'm gonna. Is that better? Yeah, that we're gonna meet and talk. So we set up a date. We met in Nairobi, Westlands, and as soon as we saw each other, we busted out laughing. Not because we knew each other, because I'd never seen her. Not because none of that. It's because I felt like I was looking at another version of me. I'm a short girl. I'm 5'2", and I have enough supporting documents. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I have enough supporting documents. And this girl was taller than me. She also had supporting documents, but the most crazy thing is that I had these braids on that were red. I love red. In fact, I would dye my hair red anytime, any day, anytime, any day, every day. So I had red braids on. She had very short hair that she had cut, but it was also, you guessed it, red. We busted out laughing because we were just like, it was just like looking at a taller version of me and her looking at a shorter version of her. So we discovered that, of course, dude was been dating the two of us at the same time. They had been dating for 4 years. I'd been dating him for 2, and she was the main chick because within her 4 years, halfway through her 4 years, he met me. So I've been dating him for the 2 years. For our 2-year anniversary was her 4-year anniversary. The only difference is that I met his kids and his family. She didn't. She hadn't met his kids. She hadn't met his family. And yeah, now, after meeting him, my cousin was getting married in Nairobi, so the whole family was in Nairobi. And so, and he lived in Nairobi by then because he was in Nakuru, then he moved to Nairobi. He decided, because he realized I found out the truth. I never ever confronted him about it because it was over for me anyway. I was done. Sorry, I keep exposing myself. I'm so sorry. I'm holding my camera and it hurts my hand. Anyway, so I was done. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's over. So he comes. Again, I told you, he was very good. Very, very good at psychology. Sometimes I wouldn't tell you everything, but there are days where he would make a mistake and I would apologize. So my camera is saying that the storage is almost full. Okay, so let's wrap this up. So what he did is he came, he tried to apologize, he took me out, he wined and dined me, and then on top of all that, got on his knee and proposed. And what did stupid Lilian do? She said yes. I said yes to this man's proposal. I even have a ring to show for it. Although I don't have it with me right now. My aunt took it, but yeah, I said yes. So when the wedding was over, I remember one day he came, picked me up, of course, same whining and dining, trying to make it up to me. And I looked at this man and I was like, what am I doing? What kind of desperation is this? I ain't desperate. I don't need this. I don't. And luckily enough, after the wedding, I was leaving. I was flying home to go see my mom and my brothers. Or actually, we were all flying back home because they don't live in Kenya. So I had a whole month to myself. I went home for a month. He sent me letters, cards, the whole 9 yards, yeah. Came back, he picked me up from the airport, brought me to Nakuru, and I just told him, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's enough. You've decided that you're going to have 2 girls at the same time. I just told him, pick the other one and be gone. And that is how Tom and actually, that's how I nearly got married. Yeah, I nearly got married to Tom. Thank God I didn't get married to Tom. So anyway, moral of the story, when there are red flags, see the red flags. Do not ignore the red flags. And today I think I've talked enough. I hope you enjoyed this this story time with me. Of course, the uji that we were supposed to drink together is still too hot for me to drink, and the story is over, and there's no part 2 to Tom's story because we're done with that story. So there won't be a part 2. I guess I'll drink the uji by myself. I thought we would drink it together. Thank you so much for watching. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you can get a notification of when I post a video. Thank you for joining the family if you're new. And yeah, I guess I'll catch up with you next time for another story time or another recipe time, or I'm not sure. We shall see what we'll be doing on the next video. Thank you so much for sitting through this. If you have reached the end of this video, please hit the like button because obviously you enjoyed my story. So hit the like button and yeah, comment down below because I love reading your comments. And I have so many other stories to tell. So yeah, maybe this will be a story time channel. Who knows? But I hope that the stories help someone out there. I've talked too much. Bye. Hey guys, I came back on to say that the uji was amazing. Can I show you that it's almost done? And another thing that I forgot to tell you about in that story is that, number 1, I did not keep the ring. My aunt took the ring and decided that she was going to go sell it, and we're going to enjoy the money. By the way, Auntie, did you ever sell it? You need to tell me because you owe me a date then, because I think that ring was worth something. And number 2, I do not talk to Tom anymore because yeah, that's over. Although I've met him in town once and I nearly took off, but we don't talk anymore. And yeah, so enjoy your uji, guys.